Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and today a puzzle by Skeptical Mario, who I thought had featured on the channel sometimes in the past, but it turns out to be only once. So delighted to have another go at a puzzle by Skeptical Mario, and I think we've been recommended their puzzles more than once. Anyway, this one did get recommended to us. It's a killer Sudoku. Literally, that's all it is, a killer Sudoku that has been on Logic Masters Germany for a while, and apparently very good. So I'm very keen to give it a try, and we'll see how it goes. It's called Killer's Circle by Skeptical Mario, and looking forward to trying it. But first of all, don't forget that on Patreon, on the 1st of September, our new Sudoku Hunt Hollywood Lunchbox, a bunch of sandwich Sudokus of various types. There are some unusual rules within it, so look out for that. That is well worth joining Patreon for if you haven't already. There are also some long Simon videos and the previous month's Sudoku hunts and solution videos to all of them. There's really some great content on there, and crosswords and connections videos, all sorts going on. Check us out on Patreon. There's loads of extra stuff. And of course, there's all of our merchandise and Sven's Sudoku Pad, very good content that you can get in the links under the video, and all of our apps. And if this puzzle turns out to be a bit easier than most, then it's a great lead into our new Approachable Sudoku app, which has been out for less than a month. Do try our apps. Go to if you're on iOS or Android, use the CTC app. Download that for free, and then you can, if you want, get the paid content as well as the free stuff. And I mean, it's just a load of good stuff. So please give it all a try. I think it's great value. And let's have a look at this puzzle then. This is by Skeptical Mario. It's called Killer's Circle. It is Killer Sudoku. Now, that means that normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Within cages, digits cannot repeat and must sum to the clue given. So these 3 will add up to 24. These 6 will be different digits and add up to 26. I'm going to start the puzzle now. Let's see how we go. Let's get cracking. So we've got a 3 cage in 2 cells. That's a 1-2 pair. That 24 cage has to be 9, 8, 7. If you think of the 3 maximum Sudoku digits, they are 9, 8, and 7, and they add to 24. Those are the only giveaway cages that I can see. Okay, but let's, I don't know, hang on. First of all, there has to be a 1 and a 2 in the 12 cage. Yeah, okay, this 5 cage either contains a 1 or a 2. It's either 1, 4 or 2, 3. And since there has to be a 1 and a 2 in the 12 cage, if you think about the possible numbers, you'll be able to work that out. Then they can't both be in this column, or that would invalidate the 5 cage. So one of them is here. So that's a 1 or a 2. Does the 13? Oh, these are all quite low as well. Well, not all. You could have a high digit in there. I don't know. I was going to think about the 21 cage vis-a-vis the 24. Yeah, okay, here's a way to think about this. I think that a 21 cage in 3 digits, there are 3 ways of making it up. And if I'm right about this, they all contain 2 of the 3 highest digits. So I think you can do this with 984, which has 9 and 8 in it, 975, which has 9 and 7 in it, and 876, which has 8 and 7 in it. And I think, therefore, that one of these digits and this one have to be from 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is all about where does 7, 8, 9 go in these 2 rows. One of them can go here. But this cage needs 2 of them in, so one of them definitely goes here. One of them goes here. And it goes there with a 4, 5, or a 6. But what's going in this 10 cage? Because we've got a virtual triple on 7, 8, 9s. Virtual meaning it's not quite realized, but it is here within these 4 highlighted cells. There are clearly 2 of those high digits here, and we've just worked out there must be at least 1 here. So that's all 3 of 789. This cage now can't have any of them and must be a 6-4 pair. And that bounces back like Tigger into this cage and tells us what the middly digit is here. So remember, we said these were 984, 975 or 876. What's the small digit in each case? It's a middly digit, 4, 5 or 6. And it doesn't go in this cell because that has to be 7, 8 or 9. So it must go in this cell, and therefore it can't be 4 or 6, and it must be a 5. And this now is a 975 cage. That is a fascinating beginning. It's quite simple in a way, but I've never seen that used before in a killer. It's nice. So the 8 in the top row is in one of these cells. This is in fact a 5, 7, 8, 9 quad, and this isn't an 8. And now we get a 7, 9 pair in row 2, which probably doesn't help, but it's surprising. And these aren't quite the same shape as these cages. I was wondering if we were going to do basically the same thing down here, but I don't think so. What we have got with that 5, 7, 8, 9 quad is we're left over with 1, 2 and 3 in the cells at the top. Now, at the bottom of the grid, it seems to be more about low digits. So what are we going to think about those? If this was a 1, there's a 2 here, and that's a 1, 4 pair, and then this has to be 1, 2, 3, 6. If that's a 2, then there's a 1 here, that's a 2, 3 pair, and this has to be no 3 in it, so 1, 2, 4, 5. Not sure. An 11 cage in 3 cells. I should have thought of this earlier. Yes, this is big. This needs a 1 or a 2 in it. The only way of making up 11, well, I mean, imagine if you didn't have a 1 or a 2. The next 3 digits are 3, 4 and 5. They add up to 12. So you must have a 1 or a 2. That cage is telling us not there. So now we've got a 1, 2 pair in the bottom row. That's gorgeous, actually. This cage now can't have a 1 or a 2 in it, and it must be 3, 4, 6. Once you use 3 and 4, the next lowest digits, you only got 6 to add. So the remaining cells in the bottom row are 5, 7, 8 and 9. This one can't be 7, 8 or 9 in the 12 cage. Imagine it was 7. These 3 digits would have to add up to 5. No can do. So that's the 5. I know the 9 is not in the 11 cage, but what I also know now is that there's another 7, 8, 9 triple formed. In fact, we can do this cell. This is, if this was an 8, this would have to be a 2, 1 pair, but that doesn't work. You'd have 3 1s and 2s in the final column. So that's a 7. This isn't allowed to be 1 or 2. It's got to be 3, and that's a 1. And we are rocking already now. We can take 7 out of those cells. We can place the 7 in the 24 cage and go round the corner into the 21 cage. 9 and 5 are resolved by that corner. And suddenly our corners are all done. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Sorry, I was mistyping the digit there a couple of times. This cage now needs a 1 and a 4. And that one, therefore, is a 2 and a 3. And the other cells in the column are 6 and 8. And in the final column, the missing digits are 4, 5, 6. So that really is a very tidy opening to the puzzle. And that's the killer circle. It's interesting. When I read the title, I was assuming this was the killer circle, as it were, in the puzzle. But actually, I think it's this one outside. I mean, I don't know. The title could be referring to anything. That's Mario's choice. But it's very clever. It's very clever. Now, we're going to have to try, I think, and deal with these other... Oh, sorry about leaving my email making noises. Who is it that annoys? Lost Cabrio. I'm not sure if Lost Cabrio is still with us. Anyway, I was thinking we're probably going to have to move into these... No, I'm going to do something else first, into these other cages. But look, here's an X-wing on 2s. That means that the 2s in rows 4 and 5 must be used in those 2 highlighted cages. So none of these cells can be a 2. Where are we going to put a 2 in the central box? Not here, in a 12 cage. It can't go. So it must go there. And that did nothing else for the puzzle. But it's interesting, though. Right. Now I am going to have to think about these. Okay, there's another digit that can't go in the 12 cages, actually, and that's 6, because it would have to go with another 6. There's a 7 in one of these cells. Can the 26 cage bear a 7? I'm sure it can. Yeah. Ah, but wait. It can only bear 1 7. Look at those 2 7s. There's a 7 in one of those cells. So there can't be another 7 in the cage. That's one of the rules. So we've placed it in row 3. That's very peculiar. That's lovely, actually. Now, there is a 7 in the 26 cage. What are the numbers in the 26 cage? They include... I think they have to include a 1. Let's start there. If they didn't include a 1, the minimum they could be is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which add up to 27. And that's too much. So they do include a 1. I thought I was going to be able to go beyond that, but I don't think I can. The 1 can't be in this box because of that 1-2 pair. So the 1's in one of those cells. Now, I was hoping I was going to be able to say they must have a 2 as well, but since we just worked out that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 misses it by 1, then 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 must hit the number on the head. It does. So this could be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I don't know what to do quite about that. I wanted a really neat resolution of how to deal with that. And I haven't got it. So the 24 is a lower number than 26. That's a knowledge bomb that you can store away for the future. There's a 5. Can we do the same thing with 5s? No, we didn't get those down here. But there is a 5 in one of those cells. Okay, we can go a bit further with the 24 cage. It has to have a 1 because it's even smaller than the 26, which had to have a 1. I think it's going to have a 2 in it as well. If you didn't have a 2, the minimum you could have is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we've just worked out that's 26. It is. So there is a 2 in this cage. It can't be in that box. It can't be here because of that 2, and it can't be there because of that 2. So it's in one of these cells. And by Sudoku, that's giving us a 2 somewhere over here. Now, I think there also has to be a 3 in this cage. Again, I'm going to be able to place it if that's right. If you didn't have a 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 would add up to 25, which is too much. So there is a 3. It can't be in this box because of 3, 4, 6. It can't be in this box because of 2, 3. It must be right here. That's 3 in the corner of this cage. Doesn't quite qualify for a song. I thought I was going to do something. It doesn't. Well, it takes 3 out of that cell, which is unexciting. I think. Can there be a 9 in the cage? And does it matter? Probably not. I'm just trying to think how we get through the rest. We know that there's a 1 in the cage, which is there or in one of those 2 cells. I don't want to pencil mark that because I'll get confused with what that pencil mark means. We know there's a 2 in the cage. We've definitely got 1, 2, 3. I think this is how we're meant to do the puzzle, but I'm now not sure. Okay, let's go back to the 26 cage, see if I'm missing something here. Yes, I'm missing something huge. Look at those 9s. There's got to be a 9 in the 26 cage. That's almost certainly going to resolve what it contains. There's a 9 in it and a 7. That's already 16. The other 4 digits have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 are in this cage. That is big information. Those digits have to be from 3, 4, 7 or 9. These from 1, 2, 3, 9. And this can't be 7 or 9. So 1, 2, 3 or 4. Now, what else is that telling me? What else? It's probably negative information about other digits. Right, 8 has to be in one of those cells in box 2. And somewhere there. 3, 4, 7, 9, 1, 2, 8 again has to be in one of these cells and therefore in one of these two. Ooh, can I rule 8 out of this cage? I doubt it, but it would be huge if I could. If 8 was in this cage, the other 5 digits would add up to 16 and they would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And that would be 8, 1, 2. And that would be 4, 6. And that just is possible to work. No. If 8 was in this cage, the other digits would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, they'd have to be. And that cannot work because the 8 couldn't be here. So what would these digits be? They'd be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and that would give too many digits. Or put another way, you couldn't fit 5, 7, and 9 into this box. So 8 is not in this cage. Therefore, it's not in these cells, and that was going to be important for some reason. I can't remember what the reason was. 8 is not in this cage. I thought that mattered. Maybe I was just being foolish about down here. 8 is not in this cage. Why did I want to know about that? It's baffling. I've completely outfoxed myself there. Okay, let's use this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 9 again. 3, no. 1, 2, 3, 9. 5 has to be in one of those cells. And one of these two. 5, no, it could be there. Oh, well that means 5 can't be here. 5 is now in one of these two cells in column 7 and therefore not here. That almost feels helpful. And we've got to get a 6 and a 2 into this column. Oh, come on, think about it. 1, 2, 3. If 5 was in this, it would have to have 4, 7 as the other digits. Oh, maybe that's the way to think about this. We were going to have to put at least one of 5, 7, or 9 into these cells. You can put 1, 2 into them. But you must have one digit from 5, 7, or 9. I think there's a neat way of seeing this, and I'm not getting there. 9 had to be in one of those cells, so it's not in the rest of this cage. So that's a 3, 4, 7 triple. I mean, this is just huge and simple. So this is a 1, 2, 9 triple. 3, 4, 7 there stops that being a 4. Now there's, I don't know, 3, 4, 7 there stops that being a 3. Now there's only one place for 3 in the top row. Now this is not a 3, 9 cage, and that's not a 3. This is either 4, 8 or 5, 7. 7 and 9. These are from 1, 2, 5, 8. Literally going to mark them up, because why not? And that's a 1, 2, 9 triple. 5, yes, I've noted that's in one of those. This is a 347 triple. That seems massive somehow. 3 is in one of those 2 cells. Oh, this is now a 1-2 pair. So that's not a 2. That's the 2 in box 9. It's got a bit bittier, but I think that's me being a bit slower. 4 now can't be in those cells, and it's in one of these 2. And that fixes this 1-4 pair over on the left. Now 1 is placed there. 1 had to go in the 24 cage and it has to be there. That fixes 2-1, which looks across the grid and fixes 2-3. That takes 3 out of that cell. This is very neatly done, by the way. Now, 1 and 3 are in this, and 2. Does 5 have to be? Well, these are now from 2579. If we added up 2579, we would get to 23 plus 3 plus 1 is 27. So whichever one comes out of there is replaced by a number 3 lower here to make the 24 cage work. So it's not 5 coming out of these 3 cells and leaving a 2 there. It's clearly not 2 coming out of these cells because we've marked it. So it's either 7 coming out and leaving a 4 here, or 9 coming out and leaving a 6 there. So that is 4 or 6. And this is whatever is coming out, which was 7 or 9. And it's not 7. There we go. 9 is there. One of these is not. 9 has come out of the cage. And I think that means this is a 6. Let's just add it up again. 12, 14, 17, 18, plus 6 is 24. I think that's going to sort the puzzle out, actually. Let's see if that's right. Let's see if that brings us home. We place 5 in box 3 and then 3 in its own numbered box. That might give us, well, it gives us another 3 there. 5, that's become a 4. That's a 6, that places 4. This is an 8 in the row to finish it. That sorts out the 9, 8 at the bottom. This is now a 5-9 pair which can be written in. I honestly think this is just going to fall out now. It's so neatly done. I mean, it's such a triumph of engineering when people make puzzles that work this beautifully in my... Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to check whether I was going right. I was trying to remove the corner marks there, and I did it wrong. But I mean, I knew I was right. I wasn't bothering to check. 5 there. These cells are a 2-8 pair. They're not resolved yet. We still haven't done the 12 cages in the middle. That's probably what's going to finish this off nice and handy. So 1, 4 there. That's a 5. This is 4, 7, 9 in some order. This slot is 6, 8, 9. And that one can't be 6 or 8. It's a naked single 9. Now, that one is not resolved. Actually, nor's this. 6 in the middle? No. Oh, bother. I thought it was all going to be absolutely plain sailing from now on. 8, 6, 1, 9, 5. That's not an 8, so that's not a 4. Also, this is not a 5, so that's not a 7. Oh, this one is resolved. That's a 7. Now, looking up the middle, what's this? 3, 4, 6, or 9. It's not allowed to be a 6. So that's 3, 4, or 9. And I'm not done. Ooh, sting in the tail, perhaps? 8, 6, 1, 2. That can't be 9. So the only place for 3 in row 6 seems to be there, which doesn't do anything. This is 5 or 8 using the cage. I'm not quite sure how this resolves yet. It's clever. I am sure about that. All the cages, well, apart from these ones, we know the constituents now. 7, 1, 9. Oh, that can't be a 9. That can't be a 3. We're getting these closer now. 2 possibilities in each case. Okay, something is going to break here. If that was 8, 4, that would be 3, 9. That would, in fact, 7 is now in one of those positions. Okay, if that was 8, 4, is that where I started? No, I started, if that was 8, 4, that would be 3, 9. That would be 7. This would be 6, 5. I don't know. That's possible. So it would go 7, 6, 5. Now the alternative is that this is 5, 7. Then we've got 2, 8. Oh, that would be 4 or 6. Okay, that last move was rubbish because I thought I could fill in the alternatives, but there weren't one alternative. Okay, I still need to find something to finish this puzzle. It's probably something fairly obvious. This is 4, 6, or 9 by Sudoku. Ah, so there's only one place for 3 in this column. That's fairly obvious, I suppose. Now I've got a 4, 6 pair in column 4. And that is therefore 5 or 8. And that forms a pair in box 5. And means this is a 3. And there we go. That will probably do the puzzle. Finally. And I was wrong about what would do it before. That's a 9 now. This isn't 9. This is 6 or 8 by Sudoku. In the row. 3, 9, 1. Oh, don't know. Maybe I'm not done yet. Still. Because this hasn't been resolved. Oh no, the 5, 8 pair makes that 6. Now that's going to do it. 6 there, 4 there. Now we have 7 and 5 in this cage. Oh, lovely. Lovely puzzle. Lovely setup. Really nice break in. And a beautiful finish. It's just absolute elegance, isn't it? I mean, it's really clever when people pull off puzzles so well. I mean, this is just educative. When you look at a killer Sudoku in a newspaper or something, it's normally completely covered the grid in cages, and it's kind of, you'll find a 4-cell 29 cage and a few others to get going, and it just isn't very interesting the way it unfolds, whereas this had such beautiful interaction throughout. You can tell Skeptical Mario is a clever person and a real thinker, and I liked it a lot. I hope to be back with more like that soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.